Sometimes having a conversation with you is like running a hurdle race. Where it's like, it's a lot of work.
It's good.
It's not easy. Like, I'll just say something and you go, yeah, but what about this? And I'm like, what the fuck's that got to do with it? And you go, yeah, but just think about it. And I'm like, that's nothing to do with anything. You're like, yeah, but it could do. And I'm like, go away. Shut up.
Are we even recording?
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?
And so, everyone, welcome to the Meandering Movie Podcast, where my giggling nonsense host, compatriate, say your name.
Hi, I'm Gary.
Thank you. And
I'm thinking about the reason I'm laughing so much is because I was just about to say, wouldn't it be funny to be a Muppet and you wouldn't have to worry about pooping? Because I didn't think we were recording. I thought I gotta keep the really weird thoughts off of my.
You gotta keep that gold for when the mics are on. Jesus Christ, it's going to be a loopy one.
I'm good. All right. Hi guys. I'm Gary.
And I am Funkmaster Flex, Gavin. Currently, I'm flexing.
Trenchfoot.
No.
So today's episode, we are going to talk about X-Men.
Dark
Phoenix.
Just Dark Phoenix, not the Dark Phoenix.
Is it just Dark Phoenix?
Just Dark Phoenix.
What's X-Men : Dark Phoenix?
X-Men : Dark Phoenix.
X-Men : Dark Phoenix. If we want to say
any more grammar before we continue?
No, that's all the grammar.
Okay, so X-Men : Dark Phoenix.
Yep.
So is out now.
Yes, it's currently in cinemas,
can go
and
see
apparently no one's going to see it because it's not making any money.
And it's the 7th?
Oh God, no! It's
8th?
Even the 11th or the 12th, if you count Logan and Deadpool in there.
There's that many?
Yeah.
Deadpool's not in there, though.
I mean, it's part of the X-Men universe.
Is it?
They literally reference like Patrick Stewart and stuff. They have James McAvoy show up in the second one.
No, I know. Oh, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense because James McAvoy's from the 80s
but
and
that's
Deadpool
what,
is set today.
That's what we're gonna dance into X-Men Dark Phoenix, discuss
Dance.
review the film a wee bit.
Like a movie fandango.
Like the La La Land of reviews. And then
We are not the La La Land of reviews.
I'm Ryan Gosling, you're Emma Stone.
We are, if anything, we're
the
Pirates of the Caribbean, Salazar's Revenge of reviews. We are so far down the list of important things.
We are Troll 2.
Toilet Ghoul. Toilet Ghoul the review.
Yeah, so settle in for a Toilet Ghoul review style for X-Men X-Men : Dark Phoenix. And then after that, we're going to do a dissection of the absolute fucking disaster travesty that is the X-Men Fox universe. Because good God, it's a fucking mess. And X-Men Dark Phoenix only makes it worse.
Yeah. So, thoughts on Dark Phoenix? Starting point. Did you see this one, Audio Boy?
I did.
We saw it together.
Saw it together. Cool.
I think Audio Boy and I were of the similar kind of mindset, which is we had no expectations, no interest. We went in being like, let's see how much of a fucking train wreck this is. And there's actually a train wreck in it, but the film itself it's all right. It's fine.
Got into spoilers already.
I mean, the train wreck thing's in the trailer, so
okay.
like,
Yeah. The trailer gave a lot away again.
yeah.
And
But here's the thing: did you care?
I think there was the point I was just about to say, that with these X-Men films, I remember being a kid and being hella excited every time they were going to bring out a new X-Men
same.
film. For the original 3, First Class, Days of Future Past,
Yep.
even the 2 Wolverines, which weren't good, I was excited for. And then Apocalypse, I was less excited for. And then this one, I just didn't care. I wasn't... They announced it, and then I didn't even know it was announced. I seen the trailers, and that was the first time I knew that this new X-Men film was coming out. And I went, nah.
But then also the interesting thing with this film coming out is Disney now owns Fox.
Yeah.
So
this is the last.
This is the
Fox.
last of these types of films with these actors playing these characters.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Marvel has them back, and Kevin Feige said that hopefully by 2022, maybe a wee bit later, they'll start to introduce the
2022, 3 years.
Because I think they're very, because Kevin Feige, as we learned, he's no fucking idiot, and I think he's like, he wants to take the time and kind of figure it out and not rush it and fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at this point, everyone just wants to see Wolverine in the MCU.
Not just Wolverine.
Yeah, but he's like the big one that people want. Like, who's going to be
But now
Wolverine?
that Hugh Jackman's gone.
Yeah.
It is funny actually. Wolverine is the Batman of the MCU,
Yeah.
isn't he?
And the thing is, no matter who they cast to play Wolverine, everyone's going to fucking hate it. And then they'll come out, it'll probably be actually all right. And everyone go, oh, yeah, it's good. It's the same with Robert Pattinson as Batman.
B-Man.
Everyone's like, oh, like putting up petitions and stuff, like trying to get it revoked. And like, Warner Brothers, change your mind, get back Ben Affleck. And I'm like, or just give Robert Pattinson a go and we'll see how it works out. Because why not?
I can't imagine. But then this one's way more justified because with Batman, I'm quite happy with them changing the actors whenever.
It's like James Bond. It's like,
Who
what
knows?
actor, who cares?
But I honestly can't imagine anyone else playing Wolverine because,
it's
12 films, 11 films for Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he was in more than anyone because, of course, he had 3 standalone movies.
Well, he was in every one except he's been in every X-Men
Except Apocalypse.
film except Apocalypse in this one.
Yeah.
So that's 10 of the 12.
And if you want to count
the last,
Deadpool's,
20 years.
Yeah, I mean, what? So X-Men 1 came out in 2000. What? 2000. X-Men came out.
Yeah, 20 years. So he was in them for 17 years, roughly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 17
Give or
years, like 10, 11 movies.
Give or take a year.
But he just got more and more fucking jacked as the movies went on, to the point where in fucking Days of Future Past, his veins are bigger than me.
Yeah, he
They're
was
just pulsating.
ridiculously jacked.
Did you hear like how he would do that? Which is he would dehydrate himself for 24 hours before the scene, get onto set, so that his entire skin was just grasping onto the muscles, so you could see everything. He would film the scene once or twice, and then fucking just give up and just pour water and food into his face and just rehydrate again.
He'd film the scene twice.
Yeah,
because
because
twice or once.
It was once or twice because it would be so strenuous because he was so dehydrated.
I love that Hugh Jackman. You know, if you just drink water and you don't have to look that jacked on set. No, I have to look this jacked. But if you just live a healthy life, we can do like a day's filming, and you know it's way better for the whole thing. No, I'm getting. Look at me.
Thankfully, though, and for both the Wolverine, the one set in Japan, and for Days of Future Past, he doesn't have a lot of shirtless scenes. But the scenes that he was shirtless for, he went crazy for it. And why not? Because he looked fucking gorgeous.
He did. And yeah, I was going to say something there. There were 2 Wolverine films. There's 3. There's
there
Logan.
Was X-Men Origins Wolverine.
X-Men
Then
Origins.
there was the Wolverine, and then there was Logan.
What happens in? I remember the one where he goes to Japan.
Yeah, it's the Wolverine, directed by James Mangold.
What happened in the other one then?
X-Men Origins Wolverine is the origin of Wolverine, and it's fucking atrocious. It might be the worst one of all of them, which is
That's the one with the
something.
bad Deadpool.
Yeah, that's the one where Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, and they like put swords in his arms and like.
Don't you say anything. You don't have a mic.
No one knows you're here. Sure. Yeah, for people
So for
outside of this room, they're gonna have no idea.
For our listeners, Stuart is. It's too late. Stuart's sitting in the room with us.
If you don't
And
know,
he just joined in the conversation, but he doesn't have a mic.
I
so-
mean, for context,
I offered you a mic and you said no.
for context out there, Stuart is my cousin who crashed here last night after a heavy night of drinking.
As he crashed in our recording studio because this is a
I.e. my
legitimate-
living room.
No. This is a legitimate
This is
podcast.
a legitimate high-tech
Business.
recording studio where we spill beer on our primary recording equipment.
Thanks for that, guys.
Wasn't me. I just want to say it one more time. Was not me.
Might have been you.
X-Men Dark Phoenix it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's passable. There are some fine scenes.
Yeah.
The actors are good, though they're not given much to work with. The 2 action scenes near the end are well done.
I had also completely forgotten everything about Apocalypse. I saw Apocalypse once, and then in this one, do you do spoilers?
I mean, for Dark Phoenix, why? Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So spoiler warning, guys.
Aha!
When Jean Grey goes to Magneto's camp,
Yeah.
what the hell is happening? Why has Magneto got
A wee
an
island,
island
that America gave
what
to
the
him
hell?
after he's being a mass murdering psychopath. And I mean, in fucking Apocalypse, he tried to end the world, and in this one, like, I'll have an island.
I have an island. We'll leave you here, and you can do your own thing.
Do you know what's the annoying thing about I'm going to call them either the McAvoy universe or the Patrick Stewart universe, going off of who the ones are, because literally at this point they're so separate, those films, from each other, that
Well, they are and they aren't, but
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
For the sake of listeners, the Patrick Stewart films will be films 1 to 3,
Yeah.
and then everything after that pretty much is
Fassbender, McAvoy.
Fassbender McAvoy.
And the most frustrating thing about the McAvoy Fassbender films is McAvoy and Fassbender are so fucking good so good. They're great actors, and they do great stuff with those characters. But those films just continuously let them down.
Yeah, Fassbender more so, I think.
Yes, Patrick Stewart and Sarah McKellen were in Days of Future Past, but
Yeah.
let's be honest, they were like, oh, we're going to fix the timeline with Days of Future Past. And I was like, okay, cool, you kind of did. And then literally the next movie, they're like, no, we'll fucking break it again.
Wait, because we're going to get to this.
sorry,
This is the second half of the episode.
Yeah, so with Dark Phoenix, I think the most frustrating thing watching that movie is they tried to do something really interesting with Professor X, which is they kind of paint him as more of a bad guy, and who's done a lot of bad things,
morally dubious
things that he believes are the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And the film goes, isn't this interesting? Anyway, and just goes away from it. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to fucking Jessica Chastain, who decided not to act in the film and just be
They were Skrulls, right? That was
probably like their
they're basically
interpretation of
Skrulls.
Skrulls. Yeah.
But I'm assuming Disney went, haha, dickheads, we still have the rights to the Skrulls.
Yeah.
So even though that's one of the X-Men's big enemies, you can't say the word.
Also, I mean, is there a better way to look at just the disparity between the MCU and the Fox universe than Ben Mendelsohn as a Skrull in Captain Marvel is joyous.
Yep.
Jessica Chastain is maybe a Skrull in this film is fucking unwatchable at points, where she's just this emotionless blank slate, and I'm like, really, this is the direction you went for?
And that was just another one of those. We need a big bad that's,
She's not even really
muddying the waters of having Jean Grey as the enemy, because
Yeah.
Jean Grey is an integral part of the X-Men, and then she splits the group, and then blah 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 blah. They decided, we need another enemy. What about these super strong aliens?
That run in the dumbest way I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like clearly they just put them on wires and just made them flail their arms like total idiots. God, it was awful to look at.
Yeah. They were. It was a
And
dumb,
the
boring
whole
enemy.
plot of just like, because I saw it coming, like that scene when they're on the top of the parking car park place, and she walks up and explains to like what their entire thing is, and literally she's about to say it and she's about to say it will take over the world, and then she goes, and we'll take the world, and I'm going, yep, there it is. So that, what a surprise. You're here to kill us all and take our planet. How boring.
It is funny that the best part of Jessica Chastain's performance is when she's the human at the beginning.
Yeah, when she's at the dinner table, and
And the husband is like, leave the dog, and she goes, no, I'm gonna go check the dog.
Because that's a good thing to do.
I like this character. Oh, she's dead.
And now she's just some emotionless.
And now it's
thing.
not even it's just an alien that looks like Jessica Chastain.
So
yeah, didn't like the other big bad enemy. Didn't like that they didn't give anywhere near as much time as I wanted to Jean Grey's.
They played it so kind of simple, of just like she goes home and she's like, "Oh, I love you, Dad." And Dad's like, "You ruined my life," and then she goes all angry and kills Mystique.
Yeah,
but who cares? Because Jennifer Lawrence was done in that role 2 movies ago. She didn't care.
She did not care in this film.
Really did not care.
She
showed up for 3 days on set. She got her shit. She got the fuck out. Holy fuck! And then that just further that ties into what we're going to talk about in a wee bit, of just how broken these Fox films are. Because in this film, set in 1992, Mystique dies. But in X-Men, set in 2000, Mystique's one of the main bad guys.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? So
I mean, why kill off Mystique? Why not just make her go away? Like, just
come back with a
send
different
off
face.
to Magneto's Island, or why kill her off? It makes no fucking
Doesn't
logical
make
sense.
Other than they wanted to give Jennifer Lawrence an out, I guess. I don't know. Maybe there's some comic book reason. Maybe they had a grand plan. I doubt it, but
I mean, what's the guy who directed First Class, Matthew Vaughn? He says there was originally he had a trilogy planned. It was going to be First Class and then 2 other movies, and it was going to kind of follow the story of mainly Professor X and Magneto. But then Fox and Bryan Singer came along, and Bryan Singer was like, "Oh, I'd like to do another one." And Fox like, "Okay, what do you want to do?" He's like, "I want to do Days of Future Past with both the universes." And Fox went, "Okay." And Matthew Vaughn went, "Well, fuck you then. Bye-bye. You've ruined my trilogy." And then that just kind of set these McAvoy Fassbender films on a path where they were never going to come back from. Because then in Apocalypse, which is so
Apocalypse
bad.
Apocalypse was so forgettable. I cannot remember Apocalypse at all.
It's
really. I remember that Storm gets introduced. I remember that emaciated man who looks like he's got the HIV virus is the god of Egypt, and he can do everything.
Oscar Isaac plays Apocalypse. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they made him look so ill.
No, well, he goes from looking ill to looking like the Ooze monster from the Power Ranger movie.
Ivan Ooze.
He looks like Ivan Ooze. Why they went practical? I mean, I always love when someone goes practical.
Yeah.
But with that, they went all the way practical when it should have been a blend of practicality and CGI. Like, I mean, look how great Thanos was in the MCU.
Totally.
It's what's his name? Josh Brolin in one of those pajama suits with balls all over his face. And then they kind of took his likeness and it worked. But as an Apocalypse, it just looked like an idiot in a Halloween costume.
I can't remember it
And he's
enough to even comment on this.
And I think
but
Oscar Isaac's like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
And like in the comic books, Apocalypse is supposed to be like 7 foot tall
Yeah,
and
he's
as wide as a
gigantic.
fucking bus. And he's just like, he's not intimidating in any way.
So bringing this into the back to the Dark Phoenix, just to round off our reviews, I guess. What I didn't understand with Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique is they obviously have beef, her and Charles Xavier.
Yeah. Which has built up over the
Yeah.
films, especially in First Class and in this
But
one.
but I think the problem I had is that watching this film today without going back and rewatching the other three is like it's so all the nuanced little character interactions just aren't pronounced enough for a single movie. It's almost it felt to me like this one is the
Outlier?
like the second half basically. It's got so many pieces in it that you kind of have to be a huge fan of the other ones, and do you know what I mean? You have to know
And I
them
don't
inside
I
out.
don't think one of those people exists. A huge fan of the Fox X-Men movies.
But it felt to me that I'm trying.
I mean, do you know what?
I don't know. Don't know what
do you know
I'm
what? Do you know what doesn't help is
can't get the words out.
we're obviously going to mention the MCU a lot in this because
Yeah.
they kind of perfected the whole universe building thing. If you like with the MCU, those characters are consistently around,
Yeah.
and you continue to get growth of them. Like such and such, like Falcon will show up in an Ant-Man movie, or Black Widow will show up in a Captain
Yeah,
America
yeah.
movie, and you still get to build them. But with the X-Men movies, there's such a gap. Like Apocalypse came out 2016, and Dark Phoenix is supposed to be the follow-up sequel, and it's come out in 2019.
Yeah.
So in that time, has anyone been like grasping for more of these characters?
Yeah, no, I think you know what. Actually, I think that's exactly what I'm trying to say. There's not been anything in between these films for me to remind me of. Oh shit, yeah, Mystique and Charles Xavier have had beef because of the Sokovia Accords, for example.
Yeah.
I know that's obviously the Ultron, but it was such an integral piece
an
of
example.
the MCU.
Yeah, and it's just like, and then but when you get to Dark Phoenix, and it's clear that when they're making it, they're like, oh, maybe we'll continue to make more of these because the
Yeah,
film
yeah.
has an ending when they're like, and we're going to continue on.
Oh wait, there's a new comet in the sky in the shape of a phoenix.
But clearly, we're not getting any more of these films with these actors, which is a shame. Like, I think if Kevin Feige was a fucking genius, he would just bring in Fassbender and McAvoy. Even like the kid Taylor Sheridan who played Cyclops, I thought he was really good. He was
Yeah.
a lot better than what's the guy that played him in the original ones?
I don't know.
James Marsden. Because James Marsden just had crybaby face for 3 movies, and then they killed him off. Whereas this guy actually, Taylor Sheridan, actually had a kind of a presence.
What's crybaby?
Ty
face?
Sheridan.
What am I saying?
You're saying Taylor.
Ty Tail. Potato. Ty Sheridan, I thought he was really good. I thought Sophie Turner's a good actress. She wasn't given a lot to work with. Fucking
Yeah, so
Evan
Sophie Turner's performance in this one was not
dodgy
great,
type.
Yeah.
Philip audibly laughed in the cinema when she was screaming when Dark Phoenix was plowing through her because we were both like, really, that's the take you went for? When she's just going, ah. And then she said in the interview, was like, yeah, it's awkward to scream. I'm like, I can imagine if that's the fucking scream you do. Jesus.
She's I did notice as well. It felt she kept slipping into Sansa.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
I mean, when you're
A lot.
I mean, if you think about it, she's only ever she's not been in a lot outside
No.
of Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
and that character, a lot of her.
You mean you've never seen Barely Lethal?
No, I didn't see barely.
Haley Steinfeld and Jessica Alba and Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
It's great. And
Is it-
Topher Grace is in it.
Is it great?
Well, that's Philip's review of that movie. But if fucking Evan Peters is Quicksilver, just give him again. Why do they keep wasting
Yeah,
Evan
fuck,
Peters as
he was a-
Quicksilver?
until the end of the film when he turned up again in the school and he makes a joke, "Hey kids, slow down. Haha, Quicksilver's fast." I went, "Oh my fucking God,
Yeah.
why was he not in the movie?" And then I remembered it's because they kill off Mystique straight away and then they hospitalize him at the beginning of the movie so that he's not
the way
about.
that like he trips, falls, rolls a wee bit, and then has a bunch of cuts in his face, and they're like, "Oh well, he's out."
Well, I suppose I get it. If you run at super speed and you trip and you have
Yeah,
a
but-
super speed,
Yeah,
like if I go over my ankle when I'm walking,
Which happens a lot.
which happens a lot, I'm out of the count for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, but
so
you
if I
think
was
if-
going at super speed
If
and I
you're
went over
a
my ankle,
mutant and your specialty is running fast, you'd watch where you put your feet.
yeah, but the Phoenix fucked it for him.
Oh, I don't care. That film. Here's a thing I was pointing out to Audio
He
Boy.
did go out because they
is
wanted him out for some reason.
There was an advert that played before the movie. It's about not texting while driving. That advert got more laughs and engagement than the whole of Dark Phoenix because that audience never once, like, there was no laughing or enjoyment
Yeah.
or gasp. There was nothing from that audience. And if you'd had someone like Evan Peters as Quicksilver, they're bantering, having fun, it could have really brought the film
Is
up.
there a
and
reason why he wasn't in it?
Maybe
Because they didn't kill him off.
maybe
they just
scheduling conflict or
didn't
something. I
have
don't
him
know.
in. Yeah, it just seemed odd.
But then the interesting thing is,
Nightcrawler was shit as well.
who?
Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah, he was fucking. Like, here's a question, and you might not be able to answer this, but in Apocalypse, did he have the accent?
I remember him having a German accent.
Because it felt so much more pronounced and worse in this one.
Yeah, it felt forced.
Also,
as well.
his moment of becoming a killer, not earned, not justified. Where it's like,
yeah, because he wants to save that one guard.
there's this random soldier who we have never been introduced to. We have no idea who the soldier is, and he tries to protect the soldier. The soldier
Yeah.
dies, and he just goes, "Well, I guess I'm a serial killer now," and just starts murdering people with a great
Aliens.
abandon.
They're
Yeah,
aliens,
but he
so-
does it in such a savage way. I'm like, really? That's all it took?
Yeah.
You've been on X-Men for God knows how long, and it just took a nameless soldier to turn you into a fucking killer?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So much of that film was just
But then there's like
a fart.
the two action scenes
On
at
the
the
wind.
end are quite well done.
Well, so yeah, shall we try and talk? Shall we talk about what we did like, which isn't much, but the that does remind me. The one thing I can say was good is the action sequences.
Yeah,
The
because
first one with Jean Grey.
what was? Oh yeah, like outside of the dad's house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was phenomenally good. With Storm firing lightning and her block, like knocking them out of the way, and Quicksilver outing himself. Even though it was stupid as shit, I thought he was going to get back up and then rally. No, he was gone.
that's it. That's like he leaves the movie.
He leaves the movie, but I liked all of that. I thought it was fucking awesome, and it was cool watching them, have their little line-up
Yeah.
moment. And then when Mystique died, I went, "Whoa, damn!"
I was like, thank God Jennifer Lawrence's out of this movie now.
but I thought it was gonna be, I thought they were gonna bring it back or something. So it was, I suppose, if they had continued this, it was gonna be a bold statement to go.
Plus, the killing of Mystique gave Nicholas Hoult another chance to just fucking shine as an actor because he's good.
He was good in this film.
Like that scene between him and Professor X in the dining room or whatever, or
Yeah,
the kitchen
yeah.
or something. I was like, this is a solid scene between
Whereas
two solid actors.
McAvoy's doing that. "Oh, I didn't realize you were upset. I'm just kind of gonna anecdotally talk about her," and he's like, "You don't fucking deserve to talk about her."
And again, that's one of the interesting parts about the movie that I wish that it had just been able to go more into was the kind of the painting of Professor X as a bad guy almost. I was like, that's really interesting, and especially when you then bring in the dichotomy of Magneto, and when you've got Fassbender and McAvoy acting off of each other, and then you've got those two opposing forces chatting. Those are always some of the best moments of any of the X-Men movies. But sadly, this film didn't give us that. They have one scene in the park outside the
But even that's
house.
more just Magneto,
Yeah.
Xavier. We're gonna make a reference to our past. Yep, let's go. That was it. There was
But then
no-
that from there plows into another solid action scene where
Yeah.
it's like you see all these mutants and their powers are bouncing off of one another, and there's kind of a flow to it, and it's exciting to watch. And Magneto's been a fucking badass, and
yeah,
it's enjoyable to watch. And then Jessica Chastain gets flown through a building. I don't know. And then they all get onto the train, and I was like, "Oh, we're already at the train." But I was like, "Is this movie coming to an end?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." And then it has a solid final action scene where everyone gets their moment to have a wee moment of shine, and
have the hero spots.
that fucking moment where Magneto, like, he gets a bit of metal and he like stabs it through a guy's hand, stabs it through his neck, stabs him into the wall. I was like, fuck, this is like, I want more of this.
Yeah.
And
So the action sequences were good.
Yeah.
Not worth the ticket price, but they were at least enjoyable.
They were entertaining.
So I think that's the review. It's if you like X-Men, I guess go see it. But if you don't, you aren't missing anything. And if you wait for the MCU version of X-Men, that's probably a better shout.
I mean, I guess I just say surprisingly, it's not terrible. It's better than Apocalypse. It's not as good as First Class or Days of Future Past, but it's in the same kind of realm. It's still enjoyable. There's still all those actors are still good. They still care about those characters and they give a good performance. But it's like if you miss it, you're not missing anything.
Yeah, totally. So that brings us to what the fuck is the X-Men universe now?
It is a broken fucking mess.
So the big thing. So for anyone that actually, let's do a very brief history. For anyone that hasn't seen the X-Men universe films, we had X-Men 1, X2, Stand United.
That's what it's called in the UK, I think.
I think so.
In the US, it's just called X-Men 2.
And then X-Men 3,
The Last Stand. Which was almost a franchise killer because what's his name? The disgusting man they brought in to direct it.
Bryan Singer.
No, he did the first two. And then they brought in another disgusting sexual predator for the third one.
Weinstein?
No.
Louis C.K.?
Yeah, I'll find out the disgusting
Jimmy Savile?
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin
It
Spacey?
was Brett Ratner. They brought in Brett
Ratner.
to direct the third one. And oh boy, can we say the third, like Last Stand, is the worst of the X-Men? Or maybe X-Men Origins Wolverine? I don't know.
So this is the thing. I haven't watched those films in a long time, and I have full-on nostalgia glasses with them. So I can't.
I think you know
sit
how
here and
you know
say
the way
that.
you talk about how the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies aren't good.
Yeah.
Like go back and watch them, you'll see they're bad.
Yeah.
I think it'll be the same for you if you go back and watch these original X-Men
I
movies.
I can fully
Because
appreciate that.
they are dated, and they are at this point they're so generic because they designed the formula that so many other superhero films went on to.
Have now perfected.
Yeah.
So no, I can totally appreciate that. But in my memory,
They'd be fun to do commentaries of.
They're pulpy comic book
Yeah.
fun, But I can fully appreciate that. If I went back now, I'd go 1 and 2 are enjoyable, and 3, because I remember even at the time thinking 3 wasn't as good as 1.
I mean, I
and
remember
2.
being a kid and you're like, oh, this is shit. This is what taught me movies can be bad. This is like, this is not good.
I was so excited, and you've ruined it.
Because
They break the mutant gene, don't they? Because they just make the cure for it.
yeah, they make the cure for it, but then they don't because Magneto gets hit with a cure, but then at the end he moves metal. Yeah. Also, it has the big dumb action scene at the end and terrible one-liners and fucking Professor X dies, but then comes back because they put his mind into his twin or something.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They literally explode him, and then Patrick Stewart turns up at the end.
Yeah, and then it's Moira McTaggart that's talking to him at X-Men
yeah.
Last Stand, but then she's also in First Class, played by Rose Byrne. So apparently, Moira McTaggart's mutant power is she doesn't age. She's just the same age for all time.
So there was X-Men 1, 2, and 3, the original, and that's what we would say in the Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, they are, as far as I remember, pulpy fun comic, but don't really hold a candle, and cinema has moved on.
Yeah.
And thus they feel aged.
X-Men 2 is still probably the best of those original ones.
So and
it's got Brian Cox in it, who I've met in real life.
name drop. Then they did
X-Men Origins
prequel.
Wolverine,
no, sorry, they didn't. They did X-Men Origins.
which is a prequel.
So in fact, do you want to do? Because I don't have it in front of me.
I've
So
got them
my
all,
memory
yeah.
goes.
So then-
it was
so
then
yeah.
and then into the first class,
2009 X-Men Origins Wolverine, and
that was a shit.
I mean, X-Men Last Stand was the beginning of the decline, and X-Men Origins Wolverine was the grave that the franchise then got into because Gavin Hood, I think, directed that film, who also did films like Ender's Game and stuff like that, bringing the name of Gavin's into disrepute, which I'm not happy about. And there's just not one redeeming quality about that movie. Like, I guess the scene at the beginning when Ryan Reynolds is full Deadpool, everyone's like, oh, we need this. And we all thought, it's a shame we're never going to get a Deadpool movie with Ryan Reynolds. And
How funny.
look it was now. Yeah, but there's generally nothing redeeming about that movie. Well, I guess Lee Schreiber's Sabretooth is good. He should...
And he comes back, doesn't he? Does he?
No, he doesn't. No.
Was it one? There's only one film he's in.
Yeah, he's only in that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is a shame, because he was really good.
He was decent.
I mean, he might have voiced him in an animated
Something else.
thing.
Yeah, I thought I remembered him in another film.
Then after that, we have Matthew Vaughn's 2011 reboot, X-Men First Class, which isn't really a reboot, it's a reimagining.
So no, it was a. So this is where it gets interesting. So it was
I think it was
It was meant to be a reboot.
Yes, but then that whole Fox Bryan Singer Days of Future Past thing happened, and then they decided to join them together. Because I think Matthew Vaughn was like, "Oh, I want to do my own thing, separated from."
So what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Meant to be a reboot, and it was going to be a brand new X-Men story, which took into account maybe the X-Men 1, 2, 3, but was completely separated.
This first one was set 1972.
Yeah, and it was when Magneto was when they were all young, and it was
that scene in X-Men First Class when he goes to the wee like pub in like Austria.
Yeah.
Oh,
so good.
That's when you're like not only is Michael Fassbender a big old hunk of meat, oofed, but he is a fucking actor. Good God, that scene is so good.
It is great, and genuinely, First Class was good.
Yeah, it's
really
like
good.
Magneto's entire story in that first film, like when he finally gets to Kevin Bacon and stuff, and he slowly just puts the coin through his head and everything.
Yeah,
it's so good. And Kevin Bacon's like, yes, more Kevin Bacon is bad guy.
Yeah,
and fucking James and then James McAvoy, Michael Fassbender just sauntering around in the 70s, looking dashing, just picking up X-Men and just like. And they walk in and Wolverine's... Oh, I guess that's the thing that kind of ruins it is Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is there.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, wait, we're starting up a wee thing. And he's like, fuck off. And I'm like,
Fuck
okay.
off.
And then they walk away.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah. However, even with the Wolverine thing, it was still meant to be its own thing. And it was planned, I think, as a trilogy, which was going to be a brand new trilogy, blah. Then we had...
Well, after that, we had The Wolverine.
Okay.
Which
was... And this is where it's weird, because Wolverine was played by Hugh Jackman up until, as we said, a couple years ago.
2017 when he finished up with Logan.
So while First Class was happening with this brand new X-Men universe, they continued to make movies which were directly tied into the original trilogy,
so
starring
X-Men
Hugh
First
Jackman's
Class
Wolverine.
came out 2011, and The Wolverine came out 2013, and then X-Men Days of Future Past came out 2014.
And then Days of Future Past, and then Days of Future Past fucks everything.
Yeah, the thing is, they're like, this is the one to fix it. We're going to use time travel to fix it. And I was like, okay, and they kind of did, and then really didn't.
Yeah.
Just like so didn't.
So what happens? It's Days of Future Past starts off with it's set in an apocalyptic future.
Yeah,
the world's fucked.
The X-Men are on the run.
They have
from
to send
Sentinels that can
that's it.
take your powers.
Mutant Sentinels, isn't it?
And so they use Kitty Pryde to send Hugh Jackman back in time. Not Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine, back in time. Hugh Jackman can't time travel.
A very bewildered Hugh Jackman. We need to send you back in time. What? Why? Because the X-Men movies. Yeah, but I'm just Hollywood actor Hugh Jackman.
That's a fictional universe. I don't actually have claws of adamantium.
So they send Wolverine back in time to his body in the past.
And when he's just fucking jacked out of his mind.
And
he goes and he meets Professor X, who's a fucking drug addict.
And
it's
Professor
so
X is McAvoy, and Fassbender's there, and oh god, it's confusing.
Nicholas Hoult is Beast.
And then the whole film carries on, and you could assume that it was just a continuation of First Class, but then they send him back to his present day, which everything's fixed, and all the characters from the original
James
trilogy
Marsden
were there.
Cyclops is back. What's his name? Dr. Fraser Crane is Beast again. Kelsey Grammer is Beast again, and it's just like what? And what's Rogue's kicking about? And there's the Rogue cut where Rogue had like a bunch of scenes.
So that's the kind of brief messy history. Apologies, we're not good at this podcasting thing.
We're not good at this.
And it wouldn't have mattered until they kill. So they make it clear that future is the X-Men. It's the same universe. Yeah. It's a continuous story. None of that would actually matter. And then in Dark Phoenix, they kill Mystique, and Mystique
is a primary part of X-Men 1 and 2. Like an insanely primary part. Like in X-Men 2, she's so integral to plot elements.
I mean, and on top of that, Jean Grey becomes the Phoenix in the original 3 movies.
Yeah.
But in this one...
yeah, you know what doesn't make sense? This amazed me because I was reading this online at points about, is at the end of Apocalypse, when they're like, oh, we're not going to be able to beat Apocalypse, he's just too strong. And then Jean Grey starts like going like Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And then a big Phoenix comes out of her. And I'm like, does she have the Phoenix now?
Oh, yeah.
And then And then in Dark Phoenix, she then gets the Phoenix. I'm like,
So
I don't
I thi-
understand.
Yeah, because I think who
It's like, does she always have it? And then the cloud thing
Makes her-
exponentially that
basically
makes bigger.
it's Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3. It's the Venom suit. I think. I think it amplifies her powers as well as making her.
So she's already got the Phoenix. within
She's the
her,
Phoenix,
and that thing
but that's the
amplifies it.
Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
But in the comics, I'm pretty sure she gets the Phoenix Force, which is its own thing, which
Yeah.
gives her Phoenix abilities. Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, trying to figure out the logic of the X-Men Fox universe is like trying to figure out the Enigma code. It's only the Brits can do it.
We did do it, didn't we?
We did. Shout out to us in World War II. Fuck you, Nazis. Fucking figured out your stupid code.
I'd love if you could go back in time to that day and you look at the code and it's just every word has the last letter at the beginning of it. And there's just a bunch of war people, bunch of our
war
ancestors,
people.
bunch of our ancestors just going, we just don't know what this Nazi code is. It's boggling us. And you go, oh, look.
Then they get like Mr. Terry from 170 Lane, who just is really good at crosswords, and he just happened to one day walk into the office where they had the Enigma code, even though it's classified. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I figured that out." I'm like, "What?" There you go. You just put the letter from the back to the front.
Is that what they did? Got like crossword experts and shit in.
That's genuinely, yeah.
That's
Put a
amazing.
crossword out, yeah.
Because we fucking Brits are boring. We do a lot of crosswords.
Wait, they put a crossword out.
Yeah. Anyone that could do the crossword. I think it was a crossword. At least this was in the film.
Yeah, they would put it.
The Imitation Game
Right.
with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
Bender's
they-
match
they-
Wonder Crunch.
Yeah.
Wimbledon tennis match.
Wimbledon tennis match.
Best one.
So yeah, so they put out a big crossword into the paper, and people who completed it would like submit it and things.
And then they got
And then
hired
they all
for the
got
war
like
calls.
put into a test to see who could like do codes and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, do you know what's great is you could say, "Hey, this has nothing to do with movies, but it's in the Imitation Game, so it all comes back to movies."
Yeah, so keep listening. Wow, I need to watch that film. That sounds actually
It's a good
interesting.
film.
It's
It's
not.
a war movie, though.
It's all right. It's not great.
Because it's about war.
No, war films are good.
So yeah, so X-Men overall, who fucking knows what's happening?
But then, of course, after Apocalypse, we got to the absolute majesty and swan song of Hugh Jackman's career, that is Logan.
Yeah. Holy fuck,
Logan
was
is
great.
like, that trailer came out for Logan with the Johnny Cash song over it and everything, and everyone was like, hold on a second. Is this happening? Are they doing it? Are they doing a fucking
Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan that's going to be R-rated, violent, and it's everything we want? And Fox were like, you know what, guys? We're doing it. And we were like, yes! And then it happened, and the movie's fucking amazing, and James Mangold fucking nailed it, and that movie's so bittersweet and beautiful, like the stuff with Professor X. It was such a beautiful send-off for that character, and it was such a beautiful send-off for Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Should have been nominated for Best Picture. Fuck the Academy for not doing it that year.
It was a good film.
So
It
good.
was a really, really fucking good film, actually. And you're right, heartbreaking, tender, and was set in a future with Patrick Stewart, so that was also in the universe. Oh, God, who knows?
Yeah, the universe is so broken.
Presumably it's got 4 timelines, right?
I mean, there
Well,
are
the
videos
original-
online where people like try to break down the timelines, but they just start to like they separate and then weave back into one another and then separate again. It's just like it's impossible, and it's kind of pointless also to keep up with it.
Because throwing the biggest spanner into all of it is Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
Deadpool 2, the cameo that doesn't make any fucking sense.
yeah. with Deadpool 2, when they have the McAvoy Fassbender cast of people just show up in our room.
Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is moaning that he never sees any of the good X-Men, and it's always just Negasonic Teenage Witch and Colossus. And if there were more X-Men, he could probably get through the fucking bad guy in no time at all. And where the fuck are they? As McAvoy opens a door, all of the
It's
the
Ty-
1970s X-Men
yeah,
are
like
there.
Ty Sheridan, Cyclops, and Sophie Turner's Rogue,
And Nick
no,
Holt's
I mean,
Beast.
sorry,
They're all standing
Jim
there,
Gray.
and then they're like, "Oh shit, okay, well, let's just
and
close
just
that
close the
door."
door over again.
But the film set in is 2019, 2018, but they're from the 80s, and I just don't know.
That's kind of the wonder of those Deadpool movies is they can just point out the absolute nonsense.
I mean, that's
flaws.
what it's a gag, isn't it? It's a fucking.
I mean,
good
there's the
gag
one.
as well.
There's the bit where instead of referencing Wolverine, Deadpool just straight out references Hugh Jackman and puts like it has like, either a magazine of like
He's cut out Hugh Jackman's face
Yeah, he's
from a
cut out Hugh
magazine and
Jackman's
he's
face.
stapled it to his own face.
so good. It's so good.
Those films are nonsense.
Or like the
Good
first one when he
nonsense,
shows
though.
up to the X Mansion and he's just like, oh, well, we couldn't afford any of the actual X Men and all that kind of stuff. And he's just like,
We got out of that second film, Deadpool 2, and my mate went, yeah, I enjoyed it, but, you know, kind of the same jokes as the first one, a bit lazy writing. And I went, you do realize that the whole film, Deadpool is saying that lazy writing is funny,
yeah.
that's a good recurring gag, and now you're saying that it felt like lazy writing. It kind of feels like a big fucking joke in itself. And he went, oh, I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Did they, when Colossus showed up in Deadpool 2, did they make reference to the fact that Colossus was also in X Men 3 The Last Stand, but it was Vinnie Jones?
Juggernaut.
What did I say?
Colossus.
You know what I meant. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I'm the
Still the best
Juggernaut,
line in all of
bitch.
X Men.
I can't remember. I loved the fact in Deadpool 2 as well that they managed to keep Juggernaut a genuine surprise
Yeah.
by not casting him and getting Ryan Reynolds to do the voice.
Yeah.
So because of that, and
Also
then-
not showing him in the trailer either.
yeah, just CGI'd him up, didn't show him at all. That was a fucking genuine. When they started talking about it in that prison, I went. I mean, I was like, it sounds like it could be Juggernaut.
Yeah.
He's pretty big, but surely they would have said it was Juggernaut, and then it was Juggernaut, and I went, ah, like, oh my god, ah!
The thing I feel it works great for those Deadpool movies is Ryan Reynolds has such control, and the team he works with
Yeah.
also have a lot of control that they're able to kind of not only market those, because if you put Ryan Reynolds out front and center to market your film, it's going to work real well for you.
He's going to
And,
do a good job.
like the fucking powerhouse of the PR rounds that man did to promote Deadpool and all the extra stuff they did, like they did that video with David Beckham where like
Yeah.
David Beckham's upset that he made fun of him in the first Deadpool and stuff like that, or they did like a PG-13 rated version where it's like
Savage.
Fred Savage comes back.
Fred Savage, yeah.
Big Freddie Savage comes back from a Princess Bride.
Why was Fred Savage turned up in Super Troopers 2 as well?
I mean, maybe he's having a resurgence like Kevin Bacon after X-Men First Class.
If Fred Savage has a resurgence and hits the big time, I will be so fucking happy. Like,
I mean, he looks good.
what did he do? Princess Bride, and then
Things.
He was in that
Deadpool
Netflix
2.
series, Friends from College.
Friends from College. Oh yeah, with Peel,
Jordan Peele?
Keegan-Michael
Keegan
Key.
Michael
Keegan Michael Key. I never know. I honestly never know which one of them is which.
I know you don't. Because we have the same conversation every time.
But yeah, is there you got any final thoughts?
What do you want to see from X-Men going forward?
Now that's a big question. I kind of want to go back to the pulpy comic book roots. I liked First Class. I wish
They'd follow through with that vision.
Matthew Vaughn had got what he wanted in just 3 films, like Dark Knight, basically.
Yeah.
Bit darker, a bit more
Has
cerebral.
an arc throughout. the three
Has an arc
films.
throughout. I wish that we got that, and then.
Instead of just a jumbled mess in which the characters just fall into whatever the plot
Yeah.
needs them to be.
But after this jumbled mess, I would quite like to go because the X-Men has always been the pulpy, fun, ridiculous core of the MCU.
Yeah.
Because anytime they need anything, they just go, "Oh yeah, we got a mutant for that," and
It's
because
like-
of that, they
It's
can
like,
really.
Where's he been? He's like just hiding over there in the basketball court the entire time. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, cool.
And that's why Deadpool fits so well with the X-Men because they're not quite as serious as the rest,
Yeah.
as the rest of the MCU. So yeah, I'd be up for a more silly, enjoyable, romping X-Men.
A kind of Shazam-esque tone.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Just kind of silly fun.
Let-
Doesn't
let-
take itself seriously.
Let Ryan Reynolds get in on it. Let him.
Let him play all of the characters. He played Professor X, he played Magneto, he played Jean Grey.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
Just watch those abs in like various different forms.
Flipping the question. What do you want from the X-Men going forwards?
Well,
Gavin.
Interestingly, not interestingly.
Gavina McCall.
Why are you doing that?
That should be your next episode. Gavina McCall.
Okay. I'm going to bet you that next time we record an episode, neither of us will have remembered that. Audio Boy probably will, because he's got a locked box of memories. It's because he doesn't drink. He remembers. The North remembers, and so does Audio Boy. It's a good
And AA meetings.
what? AA meetings?
Because they don't drink.
Okay, true. This went to a weird place.
For the record, I am not a part of Alcoholics Anonymous.
and I probably should be. Yeah, for X-Men, it's just like I just don't care, and I'm so glad that Fox. I mean, we're going to do an episode on it at some point, I think, but I think one of the worst things to happen to the film industry right now is that Disney now gobbled up all of Fox's properties. But the one thing that's good that's come from that is that Fox don't have X-Men anymore, because it was a fucking travesty by the end what they did to X-Men. It's an absolute shit show of incoherence, a lack of logic, and just stupid decisions, film after film. Where it's literally, if you look at First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and Dark Phoenix, they all end the exact same way, more or less, which is for the entirety of the film, Magneto and Professor X are at odds. One of them tries to kill everyone, while the other one tries to save everyone. They're so morally opposite from each other that for them to be pals who play chess is idiotic. If you look at just the tone of what these films are going for. And then literally at the end of every one of these films, they go, all right, old chum, that was another fun little romp. See you next week for another world-ending event, which I'll probably cause because I'm a mass-murdering psychopath. Bye-bye. And then Magneto just floats away. It's so dumb. I'm just so done with the dumb.
That has just reminded me, my favorite part of, final thing I'm going to say, my favorite part of X-Men Apocalypse is at the end when Magneto and Magneto and Sophie Turner's Jean Grey are standing side by side and they're lifting up timber and piping and all this stuff and they're
fixing the mansion.
That's you can't just fucking put a mansion together like it's a fucking Lego set.
I know,
Gavin.
it's so dumb.
It's so fucking stupid. Magneto maybe knows what he's doing. Sophie Turner's like a fucking teenage girl and she has never. There's so
She's
much
never done
goes into it.
architecture or woodworking.
It's so fucking stupid. I fucking hate that bit.
I just hate the bit where they're all standing in their X-Men costumes and Mystique's like, hey, we're going to be a team. And then literally standing off to the side is a mass-murdering psychopath and a man in a wheelchair who's fucked most of those kids' heads up like there's no tomorrow. And I'm like, these people, it's awful.
Doesn't make sense. It is, you were talking about it a second ago. Those films feel like they were made film to film with no.
Yes.
They were intent on making them sequels, but they had no scope of making it a shared universe. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. With X-Men, shove them into the MCU at some point and give them 5 years probably.
We're gonna have fun with them there. All right, guys, that's it from us today. You can get us. You do it, Gavin.
Oh, you can get us, yes, boss, on one of our many social medias. You can head over to our Twitter @meanderingpod. Jump over to facebook.com/meanderingmoviepodcast. Search for us Instagram, just Meandering Movie Podcast. Email us, meanderingmoviepodcast@gmail.com. There's almost a theme here with all of these things. And probably don't need to say them all every single time, but it's fine. Send us an email. If you're on iTunes, leave us a wee review of what you think of the podcast.
Or a comment on whatever listening device.
Yeah, leave a review or comment anywhere.
We'll
find it. We'll read it out. We'll get all jiggly about it.
Yeah, please do.
We'll get our jellies off.
Anything you want to plug as well?
I mean, yeah, just jump down in the description. There's a short film my brother made. If you're on iTunes, then you can scroll down and you'll get it there. If not, go onto YouTube, just search for My Sunny Day and just sort it by most recent. Yeah, give that a wee watch. Gary, you're on Twitch at the moment.
Yeah, I'll plug my Twitch again. Pixels Cafe, come watch me play games. I play mostly a lot.
Do you think you're going to play Cyberpunk 2077 with Keanu Reeves when it comes out?
Yeah, probably. Maybe. I don't know.
I love Keanu Reeves.
I think I want to play Dungeon Keeper. It's my next.
Did you see there was a big video going around of when Keanu Reeves was at E3 showing up for Cyberpunk 2027? He says something like, this game is breathtaking, and he gets heckled with someone going, no, you're breathtaking. And he's like, oh, thanks. No, you're all breathtaking. And I'm like, fucking Keanu Reeves, man. He's the main boy.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
It's Meandering Movies. It's Meandering Movies. It's Meandering Movies. So won't you lend an ear?